Welcome to the hot spot where we keep it real, and I'm gonna be myself. So let's get into this video. And for today's video, we're going to be talking about people that are two-faced. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try and explain to you how to see through their illusions that they're trying to play in your face. Now, the first thing that we got to get into is their character, because their character is led by their habits, and their habits are led by their actions, right? So if we give Jim the characteristics of being kind, we can tell he's kind because of the habits that he does. And these habits lead to actions that show his compassion, his empathy, and his consideration. So if we see all this and we're like, yo, Jim is consistently those three things, so I know Jim is a kind person. And we look at his actions, not his words. Jim might say some kind things, but in the back door, Jim's actions say otherwise. That's why you got to be careful, because with two-faced people, their words can really be the illusion part. Sometimes their actions can, and we'll get into that after this, but with their words, they can say one thing, but then do something else. Oh, I love the rain, but I carry an umbrella. That bar is hard, but that's a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? And it connects with a little bit of love and affection. But with actions a little bit different, because you can't really fake actions for a long time. You can fake it when your guard is up, when you know about something, when it connects and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta act this certain type of way in order for this other person not to be suspicious of me. Or I gotta do this to be kind. That might pop in your head, but it's not going to be consistent because it's not who you truly are. It's just situational. So once your true colors show, once you truly show your true habits, I'ma see you for who you are. So for the example that I'm also finna use, this person in my life, I mean, you know what I'm saying, give you a little story time. For the story time, this person, the example that I'm giving is through cooking, right? I told them, I'm like, yo, you cook for me and it really helps me out. Like, I don't cook and you really cook some fire food and it's healthy for me. It's what I need to really elevate my eating habits. So I really appreciate it, right? Tell them all this. And once I said all that, they're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I acknowledged it. Cool. Now, later down the line, they low-key stopped cooking for me, right? You know what I'm saying? We're in the same house. It's I. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was just like a couple bad days, right? And I'm a grown man at this point, you know what I'm saying? 21 years old. Like, I'm going to need to start learning anyways. Like, I'm going to need to feed myself at some point in time. So it's perfectly fine. But this was the kicker. And this is what changed the situation for me. Because if I come in your house and you're not cooking for me, that's perfectly fine. It don't mean nothing, right? Like, I don't feel entitled to you doing something. Never that. But if you do something on a consistent basis, somewhat consistent basis, and you change how you move, right? Then that's how I look at your character, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Red flag. Let's go back into it. Your characteristics, I thought you were a kind person, doing it at the generosity from your heart pumping. But obviously that's not the case, because now on a consistent basis, how you go from making me meals a couple times to not making them at all. In front of my face too, which is crazy. I'm like, damn, I gotta cook for myself. But I realized that cooking for myself is a skill that can come in clutch when I really need it the most. It's something that I can invest my time into and be worth my time. Now I can be able to cook instead of going out, and cooking is also cheaper. So it's a good skill to have regardless. So I can't even be angry. Now, I know a lot of people that would be angry, maybe even some people that will call it out. But personally for me, like, that's just who you are. So there's no point of arguing with somebody if they switch up, because that's who they are. If they change up, now they're consistently like this. It wasn't out the kindness of their heart. They had other motives behind the scenes, right? And you can really tell the difference when you guys have bad times in that relationship. Because I don't care how angry, how upset I am with my cousin, for example, I'm always going to be treating him with the same respect and the same love and the same consideration, no matter how the deck of cards are played. It don't matter how they're played, how they're handed. I'm going to be kind to him because that's why I owe him. I owe him that because he gives me trust and loyalty and a lot of things that is hard to come by. So I'm going to treat him with that same energy. You know what I'm saying? That same love and energy, no matter what the circumstances, right? Unless he does some outlandish stuff, but I've already seen who he is. I've already seen his character over a long period of time consistently, right? I've seen those habits. And they've already told me what type of person he is. So I already know in the back of my head, man, he's not even going, be on that tight timing, right? Now, always be careful and always be cautious of people around you, because at the end of the day, if you're someone who changes and goes through changes a lot, then your habits will change. Now, hopefully this is for the better, and if you're someone who wants to grow, then obviously this will be mandatory. You will never have really the same habits because they'll keep changing and keep getting better, more efficient, to be more effective, right? So, with that being said, you will appear differently to people because your habits might even become a little bit more selfish because you're trying to improve yourself. And if people see those habits change and you do more things to better yourself, they might label you with being a selfish person, not knowing that you're trying to improve and make your life better. So I also want to leave y'all with, do not think you are not a kind person, or not even a kind person, but do not think that you are doing a disservice to other people because you are caring about yourself and improving your life. Like, you're not someone who doesn't care about other people because you're trying to make improvements to your life. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Because if you can't get the best out of you, how are you going to give the best from others? Right? But I do understand that metaphor, idiom of like, everyone got to eat before me. I respect that. But you also got to make sure that you good, especially nowadays when people are two-faced. You never know sometimes. So I'm just trying to give y'all a game to make sure that y'all are at least watching and being aware of someone's character, because it leads to their habits and that leads to their actions. That will be the evidence to show who they are based off a level of consistency. So, without further ado, you know what I'm saying? Don't just be. Stay optimistic. Have a great day. Peace.